Hi friends, so I'm just leaving a doctor's appointment and we are, no lie, like 2 blocks from 2nd Avenue, which is one of my favorite thrift stores and is one of the biggest in my town. So how can we not stop by? I've got about an hour or so before I need to go get my kids, so let's go thrifting. So the first thing that caught my eye as I was walking to another section was this really cool like poncho sweater. It looked like maybe wool, alpaca, but it is 100% wool. But you see that $25 price tag, and unfortunately I couldn't find anything about it, where it was made, what the brand was, so I decided to pass. But as I was putting it back, this tag caught my eye and I found Vince sitting right next to it. So this is supposed to be fuzzy like that. It needs a little bit of lint rolling, but as you'll see me struggle to find, this is 100% merino wool, and it's an extra small, so I'll get to wear it once or twice to work first before I list it. But I love finding Vince, so I did pay for this one today, and it was the first thing in my cart. Next, I headed straight for the blazers. I've been loving selling blazers, and this Torrid one was the first thing to catch my eye, but at $8.29, I did leave that behind. I certainly would have grabbed it at the bins or something probably less than $5. But blazers are a really good quality staple for me. This loft one, I was looking to see if it was 100% linen, I would have considered it. But they do sell really well. Even kind of the mall brands that I would pass on maybe in other categories, I will often pick up, especially at the bins, or if, they're 50% off at this store, something like that. Always on the lookout for something amazing, in one of those blazers, a Laurel Piano fabric or something like that. But as you can see, it is often just like bad vintage, lace suit. I'm trying to see some of these tags that I come across. This is Chico's is another one that at a lower price point I probably would have picked up. Same with Talbot's. I really thought about getting this one, but since it was petites and still at $8, I left that behind. Again, with the Torrid at $8, I would have certainly grabbed that, probably less than $5 for Torrid, but I'm trying to stay a little bit lower on that brand. Lots of Sag Harbor I always see. So I struck out in the blazers today. I didn't find too much. There was a whole nother section that I didn't end up checking, but I didn't have that much time today. This I'm checking out because it is a nice wool blazer, but that mark made it a very easy decision for me. That one I did go back and check to see if it was, a linen, and something maybe I should pick up since it was a green tag, but I decided since it was a linen blend that I would just leave it behind. Next, it was time to head to the jeans, and the theme of the day was high prices. These Paige jeans were marked at $20, so right just a few jeans in, I was like, man, it's gonna be rough. I think they've increased their prices even from the last time I was here, but definitely stick around because I did find some gems. This was kind of fun, but I decided to leave it behind. But as I went through the day, I continued to see these Madewell. These were $7.49. I grabbed them to look at, but ended up leaving them. I didn't find very many green tags the entire day. I think I only came out with 2 or 3 things that were green tags, but I kept seeing things that I would consider buying, but they just ended up being so high priced. So these AG jeans were only $5, so those were one of the pairs I was able to grab today. I think I'm going to be able to get that mark out, and if not, they're my size, so I might just be able to keep them. Those Paige jeans at $10, especially with all of that pilling, were an easy leave behind for me. I do like how they have them displayed in this store. It's so easy to go through them quickly because I can kind of skim through and see the brands. These Chico's at $17. I do really like the So Slimming and the So Lifting jeans from them. These were another two. I would have loved to grab these, the wedgie and the wedgie straight, but at $13.50 in a very small size, I was considering picking them up for myself. I wasn't too sure if this was a home done raw bottom hem or not, but I did leave both of those behind. I found quite a bit of AG that I had to pass on due to the price. I found a few great pairs of True Religion that were super marked up that I had to pass on. These Miss Me jeans I got excited for a hot second before seeing they were $35. So I did leave those behind as well. Citizens of Humanity, I did end up grabbing these. I think I can still make a pretty good profit on those. I also did grab these Good American jeans, even though they were a little bit marked up. These always sell pretty quickly for me, so I think I'll be safe. These were Frame, another ones that I paid a little bit more, $9.49, but Frame is a pretty tried and true seller. This is a good one to keep your eye out for. I will not be able to say this, Marie-Francois Girard, something like that. But these are a French designer, so I did find a green tags. These will be around $7, but keep your eye out for those. I did find some Uniqlo jeans. I like selling Uniqlo. These weren't that expensive because they were a green tag. Here's some Madewell that were $6 I did end up grabbing, as well as another pair of Adriana Goldschmied that were only marked at $5, so I did grab those as opposed to all the $20 pairs, as well as another Citizen of Humanity that was only marked at $6. So they were really all over the price today with their pricing. If you can see that new rack right over there, I was able to grab a couple good finds, which is hard because they roll the racks around with them. So it's hard to get into the new racks, but I was able to sneak in. I found this Bowden wool skirt, and I was pretty excited about it because they only had it marked at $4, so that was a great find. A couple more new rack scores. These are some Free People jeans. We love it. I was able to grab those at $6.29. We the Free, and they're a nice size. These are a size 30, great distressing, kind of slim boyfriend style, which is very trending right now. I also was considering these Current Elliott jeans at $5, but again, more pulling, and I just did not want to deal with that at all. Next, I headed to the dresses, and the first thing to catch my eye was this Moulinette Swears from Anthropologie. It's a really, really great sub-brand in Anthropologie to keep your eye out for, so I was very excited until I flipped it over and I saw $20. Honestly, I could probably still make a decent profit, but it just scared me a little bit, so I did leave it behind. I usually have pretty good luck with the dresses in this store, both the long dresses and the short dresses. But unfortunately, it was just a miss today, and so I ended up moving on fairly quickly. I couldn't find anything, and I don't think I came home with any. The things I did find were pretty high priced, and I just had to leave them there. Any resellers that have been around the block a little bit might recognize this. This is the JoJo Thermal from Urban Outfitters, and it was only $2.49, so I'm not really sure, but I was able to snag this off of a new cart, and I grabbed it. It's also my size, so this may make an appearance this fall, winter, before it gets listed. I also, $2.49, found this pull tag, still attached Lululemon little cropped t-shirt. So again, new rack, I was able to grab those two things. Very excited about, especially to have a low price on those to help drive down my cost of goods. I was very, very, very excited. They were both in really good shape too. So I figured while I was having some decent luck, I'd keep looking through the blouses. Karl Lagerfeld I've picked up a little bit, but it's sold at TJ Maxx now, and it's really driven down kind of the resale value of the brand. I do pick it up at the bins here and there, but to be honest, it's a slow seller, and I don't know if any have really sold as of yet. But I'll keep you posted. Watch my What Sold videos if you want to see how those are doing. I think I have one or two things listed right now that have not yet sold. I do like picking up Calvin Klein, but I'm not going to pick up a blouse for $25. But at the bins or for more substantial pieces, absolutely, I find that their professional wear, their formal wear, their outerwear also really, really well for me. I did like how blingy that Charlotte Russe one was, but come on, for $17, you could get it less expensive from that probably at Charlotte Russe. Another Torrid one, I did kind of look at that one, but with how pilly it was, I'm not going to spend that much. I will sometimes pick up Torrid for $2, $3, $4. This was a beautiful bandage dress, but it is a knockoff bandage dress, not the beautiful Herve Laguerre. Here's a Fashion Nova, guys, for $14. I guess it was on 50% off. But next we headed over to the kids' shoes to see what I can find. I'm also always on the hunt for shoes for my own 2 kiddos because they grow and destroy them so quickly. But I also do like to find shoes I can resell. Kids' shoes do resell well too. So tell me if you see anything that I miss. I love when people shout out down in the comments because I like to go back and watch the footage and see what I missed because you guys know more than I do. And, you know, I'm in a hurry. We're trying to look, but we're always going to miss certain things. Here's the inside look of a new rack coming out from the back. But next we're looking at the baby boys' shoes. I was looking at these little Crocs. They are so cute, but they were a little bit beat up, so I decided to leave them, and I think my son will be too big for them by next year. I did look at the Keens, but these also were pretty beat up, so I left those there as well. These looked like a pair of knockoffs, potentially. So these were a good find. These are a pair of Merrell hiking boots sneakers that were in the kids section, but these are actually women's sizes. So that's a pretty good score. That's hard to see on the tag, but I was able to decipher when I got home. These are indeed a women's size, so I snagged those for sure. All right, next I headed to the women's shoes, and the first thing I was pretty excited to find were these Eileen Fishers. They looked like they were in great condition with the kind of leather strappy uppers. I was excited because they were only marked at $4.49, but then literally as I was filming this footage for you guys, I saw that the kind of insole was peeling back, and I was considering, can I fix that? And then I was like, no, Maria, don't stop getting projects, put it back, they're not going to be nice. And then I saw these Hunter flats. They felt like the Hunter boot material, but I had never seen flats before. I did look up comps, but in this condition, I did decide to leave them behind. They've been pretty worn and they're a little bit warped. So I didn't think, based on the comps I was seeing of the nice ones, that they were going to be worth it. I did, however, find these Talbot's heels, and although they probably could have resold well, I actually grabbed these for myself. They're a nice, good heel to wear at the office. Not too high, but still super cute. And I found these Merrell. I love selling Merrell, and my Merrells have been selling really well recently, of all shapes and sorts and sizes, so I grabbed those. Very excited when I saw these bogs. I recognized them up on the shelf immediately, but was worried they were going to be super overpriced. But thankfully, they were not. I don't remember how much they were, and the tag was down in the bottom. Oh, here we go. They were $9, which is pretty good for grabbing a pair of bogs. Those are pretty consistent and usually fast sellers for me. They're one of my favorite boot brands to sell. These were really great. These were Eddie Bauer suede leather. They were in such good condition. So I definitely grabbed these at $6.50. I won't always grab Eddie Bauer, but something like that, absolutely. And guys, look at these tried and true Y2K. These are like the chunkiest platform Y2K black leather shoes I have ever seen. So at $5.50, I definitely grabbed those. I think those are like a size women's 12, so they're definitely pretty big. And then guys, these felt really cheap. I definitely thought these were knockoffs. I thought I had a find at first, but I left them there because I was too worried about them and didn't want to sell anything counterfeit. But I wish they had been real Doc Martens, and if they were, I'll be sad. Next, I did grab these Vionics. They were in such good condition, so I did end up paying up the $11 for those because I think those will sell pretty well. And I found my first pair of Mephistos for only $4.50. So I'm going to try those out. Looks like they should do pretty well though. I checked out these Vince, but guys, these are beat up. Look at the heel drag on that. That person needs to stop walking like my daughter does. But at $4.50 in better condition, I certainly would have grabbed those. There's so many shoes to go through at the store, and I was trying to be quick. But I definitely came home with quite a few. A lot of these might have been good, but they were in pretty rough condition. And I'm trying to not pick up anything that are in too rough of condition. Again, like those Beezies. I do like selling Beezies, but I have plenty of inventory right now, so I need to start leaving the projects behind.
Okay guys, we haven't done too bad. I've got a pretty full cart here, more full than I was expecting. And it's definitely time to go get the kids. So I'm going to head to checkout, hope that I don't get too distracted along the way. Also, those Doc Martens that I think were pretty fake, somebody came along after me and grabbed them and she was so excited about them. So I kept my mouth shut and she loves them and I'm happy that she gets to have them and enjoy them. So good for her. I'm really hoping now that they were fake, but either way, she clearly is going to have them for personal use, so that makes me more happy even than if I had grabbed them to resell.
So yes, I did get distracted and I picked one aisle to go through on the way to checkout. And the first thing I found was this Equipment Femme 100% silk blouse. So at $8, I did decide to try it out because I've heard Equipment Femme can sell pretty well and I haven't done it before. So I decided to use this as an experimental piece. It is really, really pretty and it was in absolutely fantastic condition. You would never know that has ever been worn. So this is me just trying to go kind of quickly because I am headed towards checkout, but I will do that sometimes and just go through like one more aisle that's kind of like on the way where you kind of have to wait in line for checkout. I did end up grabbing a few more things, so I'm excited that I did. You can see me passing by some things that at lower prices I might have stopped and looked at. I saw some Chico's, some Land's End, but again, at these prices, I'm not going to pick those up, even though they might, you know, sell pretty decently, but they just won't have the profit margin that I am looking for. I do see them with a new rack. You can see how as they're sorting them, they're like taking the new racks with you. So there's no prohibition against looking at the new racks, but they kind of glare at you. Okay guys, so I found this beautiful Patagonia, but it was marked at $28. So I went back and forth and did kind of run some comps and checked over the condition really well because Patagonia just sells. No matter really what you're listing, it will absolutely sell. This was a really fun like sweater sleeveless tank top from Pilcrow, which again is an Anthropologie brand, and that is the new Pilcrow label, so I grabbed that. This is a Uniqlo sweater, but it is a cashmere wool blend, which is why I decided to grab it. That and the Pilcrow I'll also be able to wear to the office first before I list it. And this Calvin Klein was $3.49 green tag, so it's gonna be $1.75. And it's beautiful. It's perfect for the season. It'd be great for like a holiday party. It's a longer length, so it would be really cute with like some leggings and some boots. I'm excited to get that listed. It was such a low price and such a beautiful piece, really. I did end up grabbing this Eileen Fisher. I went back and forth about the $7.50. It is supposed to be that kind of faded texture. I was worried it was not supposed to be, but it was. I grabbed both of these Michael Stars off of a new rack that I was able to get into. So I did grab those because, again, Michael Stars just tends to sell for me. I won't pay up a ton for it, but I will certainly grab it. Next, I found this really cute Free People sweater, which I was thinking about, but I did decide to leave it behind at $10. But anything less than that I might have picked up.
Okay, so per usual, I stayed longer than I expected, but I ended up getting 30 items and I just ran my cost of goods. I think I had like a 10% off coupon or something from shopping at the store previously. So that did apply to my cart. But after those 30 items, I ended up spending $182, which is about $6.06 per item, which isn't bad since most of what I got was marked up with a few lesser items to bring the cost of goods down. I was able to get some boots. I definitely got quite a few jeans, some sweaters there at the end on the aisle towards the cash register, which just tends to always happen. I did end up getting that Patagonia after looking up some comps. I'm going to do some better research at home, and if I don't like what I see as far as the profit that I could make, it is my favorite color and it would fit me. So I'm just going to keep it for personal use. But the cost of goods, I said, does include the Patagonia purchase worked into that. So without the $20 for that, it might be a little bit less, maybe under $6 once it gets divvied up across all of the items. So I definitely need to go get my kids. We also have to go grocery shopping because we got back into town yesterday after the Thanksgiving holiday and we do not have any groceries. So off to get the kids, off to get groceries. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.